It's all going to hell in a handbag. Look, there goes dudes on top of the train right now. Do you see him?
What?
Train surfing.
Oh, wow.
Dude, I wish that we had that on camera. Speaking of this city going to hell.
Oh,
Bro,
wow.
kids train surfing. Don't do it. You seen it, right, Dan?
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
Bro, there's 3 of them. How do you even
Wow.
get up there? I guess you climb up from the back.
I don't think it's hard. That's not hard. That's not the hard part. But, I mean, yeah, just staying up. Especially this, you hit a curve right here, too. So that's probably the hard part.
I hope they didn't just fall. Why would anybody do that?
Hey, man, TikTok views.
Probably.
Those guys got more followers than us.
Yeah, dude, that is nuts. And that's what they got to take to entertain people. I remember, like, going back to movies, bro. One of my favorite movies was The Breakfast Club. You know how low budget? I think that movie cost like $5,000.
It's just a bunch of people in a room.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all you need. And good writing.
It's just like you can tell a story in a room.
See, people, I don't know. I know there's the writer strike going on right now. And
we support the writers.
I do support the writers, but people don't want to admit this. You know, a lot you could write. People could write. That job. Conan said it the best. Writers are like Dixie cups. You pull them out, and there's another one right there. It's, I don't know. I feel like, dude, I wrote a few things, man. I watch half this shit on TV. I'm like, bro, this is trash.
Yeah.
I can't believe they spent $100,000 to write this idea.
That's the thing, too, when you were talking about budgets. Just a low-quality movie budget is like $20 million or something.
That's going to end
like,
soon.
This is all somebody is, I don't know what this is going to, like you're buying potato chips or something, or...
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's not going to last long. It was all going to Epstein probably.
Yeah.
You know, they just got to hide the money. It's the same with bridges. Like when they build bridges, they'll lower the grade of concrete. It's a huge thing, dude. Lots of people do it. And you can't do that. Like say you were to build a bridge, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of concrete. So the way they sell concrete is different strengths. I learned this in construction. So you could just lower one grade. That's what a lot of people do.
Oh, wow.
And they're like, come on, that bridge, it's a short bridge. That's only a 20-foot bridge. We don't need...
Right. Well, I mean, like the thing is going to break, but it's going to break in like 10 years.
Right.
So by that point, you got the money.
Yeah, you're gone. Gave him a fake name.
Yeah, man, you're in the DR.
Yeah, you're right,
yeah,
too.
man, running a comedy club. That's the thing. Is I feel like that I don't think that kids these days, I think in like the 50s, if you were like kind of like a low life, you actually thought of scams in this way. In the sense of like, you know, this neighborhood has everybody in this neighborhood's eating bread. How can I control the bread supply of this neighborhood? I'll skim a couple bucks off the top. That's how I'll make my millions. These days, everybody's like, oh, I'll just steal a credit card. Yeah. And I'll just rob somebody. But I think there's a certain amount of craftiness it takes to become like a real, like that kind of mobster mentality of like, I'm going to think of some shit that no one else even thought of.
Bro, like I tell you in this deli, they skim the meat on my sandwich. They give me, you get that anti-pasta. They're giving me all ham.
Yep.
You know, they're like, let me get them a little bit.
The thing is, it's not like that guy just went in your pocket and stole your money. He just took a little bit off the top.
A little bit off. But what's he lose? Like, you know, what are they
Hey, you never
thanking
know.
him?
That guy, he only has to take a little bit off the top for a few thousand people. And next thing you know, that guy just bought a hut in Cuba or something.
Or he's taking home all that salami.
Yeah.
You know, I worked with a guy from Greece. He used to get mad on the chicken salad. He'd be like, don't give him that much chicken. The salad was like $17 in Ohio.
Yeah.
And he wanted us to just give him like 3 or 4 little strips of chicken. Yeah. And I would give him, you know, like the owner of the business said, we had a cup. It was like diced up chicken. He's like a cup of chicken on every salad. So one day I forgot my keys. And he didn't know I had keys to the place I had to lock up on Christmas. I always had the keys. So I walk in, bro, he has a tray of chicken this big he's taking home.
Wow.
His face turned white. He's like, don't tell Phil. Don't tell Phil.
Man.
I own that guy the rest of the time.
Wow.
I was like, hey, Basilio, I'm going to go home early today.
See, it's funny because I feel like everybody, like, no matter where you are in life, everybody has, like, you can be a little bit criminal.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, if you're that guy, all you're stealing is chicken. If you're the guy at the deli, you steal a little bit of bread off the top. But it's like, you work at a bank. That guy can steal like $1 billion just by, like, you know, a couple notes.
I'm sure they do it.
But like everybody, no matter where you are, because it's like, no matter what job you are, you just got to figure out what kind of shit you can get away with.
Right.
Just like a little bit.
You know what I used to do? I would, I mean, they watched us pretty hard, but I used to, if somebody got something like fries and a gyro, I would just charge them for the gyro and ring it up and throw them the fries, like if the girl was cute. But then at the end of the day, it's like, what am I? I'm risking my job to give this girl a couple potatoes.
Hey, man, that's your life at that point.
Yeah.
You got to control what you can control.
Food court in the mall.
Yeah.
We'd be trading stuff with other places. I got busted. I got fired. He hit a button on the register. He's like, that was 2 gyros. You charged for 1. You're done.
Oh, wow.
That was it.
Yeah.
I used to steal sandwiches in New York. If you're ever hungry and you want to steal a sandwich, you got to go to the pre-made sandwich place.
Pret a Manger.
Yeah, Pret. Even the Walgreens and Dwayne Reed. But there, I mean, I don't know if I recommend it. But anywhere there's pre-made sandwiches, you go there with a newspaper. You act like you're looking at some sandwiches. You roll one up in the newspaper and walk out. They got to be a little busy. But, man, dude, I used to get away with stealing. I used to steal 2-3 sandwiches a day.
Wow.
There's a lot of those sandwich places in the city. I was eating good avocado.
See, that's the thing is you're thinking in your head you got to be all sneaky with it. But I'm pretty sure you could just walk out.
Yeah, did you know?
One thing TikTok has shown us is that you can just walk out of most of these places.
Is this true about New York? Again, I got it from TikTok. You might know.
Yeah.
You're allowed to steal $999 as long as it's under $1,000.
It's not 1,000, but yeah.
Well, TikTok said under 1,000, but they said, yeah, you could just take that and they can't call the cops. Is that true?
No, it's a misdemeanor, so the cops aren't going to arrest you for it.
Wow.
You're not going to go to jail for a misdemeanor theft.
As long as it's under 1,000.
No, I think the number is 100. Or a couple hundred. But
well, it's a felony if it's 1,000. I know that.
Yeah.
My friend stole a phone, and we had to split the charges so he wouldn't get the felony.
Well, I think that, I think they're operating off the idea that most people just wouldn't do it. That's how most of the world works, where it's like you just don't want to look, most people just don't want to look like an asshole. But it's like, yeah, if you're a minimum wage worker, it's like you ever worked at these retail jobs, if you saw somebody stealing, what would you do?
I'm not chasing them. In Harlem, they'll chase you, bro.
The thing is, it's encouraging to see when the security guard is chasing after a guy, just because it's like, all right, at least that guy cares about his job. That must be he must be the owner,
right?
If he cares that much. Because if you work at Barnes and Noble and you see someone stealing a book, it's like, I don't give a fuck.
It's either that or he really wants to impress the girl behind the register. If he knows
yeah, exactly.
And some people just want to beat somebody's ass. Yeah. They go to the gym. They become a security guard hoping that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it would backfire, though. You're not allowed to touch them. If you're a security guard or a bouncer at a bar, you're only allowed to touch people if they attack you.
Yeah.
So you could get in some shit for that. Dude, did you see the Walmart? This is genius, bro, what this guy was doing. This was like some move straight out of Hollywood shit. And this is true. This really happened. And they're looking for him. He's probably in DR. I don't know if that was racist. I said that. But he walked into Walmart. Genius, bro. And it blows me away how he got in like this. All black, the vest on, like one of these armored car people.
Yeah.
Dude, guns, real guns.
Wow.
Walks right in. Nobody questions him. He timed it out with the armored car. So he came 45 minutes before they usually come.
Wow.
And then, he just did just like they said. He's like, I'm here for the pickup. And then they went, gave him $75,000, and he walked out, face in the cameras and everything.
Wow.
He didn't care. He just did it real open. Got in a Malibu and took off. A Malibu with some 24-inch rims on it.
See, that's the thing. We're always talking about how you get things in comedy in the world. It's all confidence.
Yeah.
That guy was he went in just ice in his veins. I'm going to look you straight in the eye and just make some shit up, and I'm going to walk out with all this money. But it's me or you walk in that kind of situation. We're going to try to be we're going to talk too much.
Oh, yeah.
It's oh, hey, yeah, don't worry about me. I'm just a regular guy. You're going to say too much. You're going to try to be nice to them. And it's no, that's not how the world works.
I could never do it. I would never, ever do that. Dude, I was shaking when I'd steal peanuts or a sandwich. My hands trembling.
Yeah.
Nobody's chasing me.
Yeah.
I had one time, and I was poor. I wasn't doing this for, just for fun, dude. When dude, I was hungry. Remember? We were on the train that time. You're like, you're going to ask them for free food? I'm like, I haven't eaten 2 days.
Man, I felt bad after that. I realized how bad things were for you.
Yeah, dude. I'm not intelligent.
Yeah.
But, so what do you call? Dude, yeah, dude. I remember, dude, I'd be going to places saying, when do you throw your food out? Like Dunkin' Donuts and bagels. And
did they ever give you anything?
Oh, yeah, man. They'll give you stuff.
Wow.
They throw it out. And Everybody's there. All the homeless people know exactly when they throw it out. But dude, I remember eating this stuff, spitting bugs out of my mouth, still eating the food.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. They're like, it's been sitting there all day. I'll give it to you, but I don't know how good it is. I was so hungry, bro.
Oh, wow.
It's a different type of hungry. But, I never wanted to steal. I went so long without stealing. But then, dude, I got to a point to where I think my hair was falling out. I was like, I got to eat. You know what I mean? I used to go stand over by Comic Strip. I'd do late night over there. I'd go early to these places for the popcorn. Like, I'd be at Comic Strip at like 4:30. I'm just swinging by, drinking the sodas and stuff.
Yeah.
And, but anyways, I used to go stand and just look at meat. You know that butcher place? Bro, I just stare at it. I'm like, when I get some money, I'm getting some meat.
Wow.
And then my first thing I ever stole was change out of a wish fountain right across from Jimmy Fallon. I was like, I can't believe he wasn't there, but his show, on Rockefeller. Yeah. And I was like, I can't believe I scoped it out. I'm like, there's no security. And dude, New York's busting at that time. And I'm looking, dude, there's so many coins inside this fountain, like easy hundreds of dollars, just silver everywhere. And dude, I sat back, nobody's looking, I reached my hand in, 1 second, an undercover cop grabs my arm.
Whoa.
I used to do a joke about it, dude. There is cops all in that area, mad undercover. You'd never know.
Huh.
Had his badge, everything. What the hell are you doing? I said, I'm sorry, I'm just so broke, I'm so hungry. Dude, I was so hungry. He's like, I know you got the money. I had it underneath my pants. I didn't want to give up the 75 cents because it was so much money, bro. Like, I'm serious. I'd be outside begging. I never got money. That's why I give to people.
Yeah.
People wouldn't give me money because I guess I look able. They'd be like, get a job. Get off your ass.
You could have got a job.
I tried. McDonald's wouldn't hire me. Bro, all I owned was a pair of shorts. I didn't even have flip-flops.
Wow.
I was that broke. Somebody stepped on my flip-flop and broke it. I was like, please buy. I said, dude, you just broke my flip-flop. If you give me $3, I could buy a flip-flop.
Wow.
I'm not kidding you, bro. It was so hard to get money. I remember I would eat like a Now and Later for I would walk. I lived in the Bronx, and I knew they had them for like 10 cents at this one deli opposed to like 15 cents at the deli by me. I remember I had like 2 dimes. I would just walk around looking for change.
These stories keep getting crazier and crazier.
True stuff,
what year
man.
is this?
This was a long time. This lasted a couple years, bro.
Jesus Christ.
I struggled hard, man.
This is when you were walking dogs?
In between it, when I was at, I got fired from walking dogs once, and then I think I quit once. That's the type of job you could always kind of get back. But I think what happened with me was I had a job as a bartender at a restaurant, that one that we went to.
Yeah.
Anyways, I got accused of giving girls Patron, and I wasn't doing it. It turns out it was the owner's nephew, and the owner was so mad that I cold busted his nephew plain as day, and he didn't want to admit that his nephew was the one stealing from him.
Wow.
And he's like, you got to apologize for accusing my nephew of stealing. And I just quit. I was like, I'm not going to apologize to this guy. And dude, it was such an illegal operation. He was 14, and he told me he owns a house and a car in Mexico.
Wow.
The kid. He's like, yeah, I've been working here since I was 8. I never went to school.
Huh.
And yeah, he's like, no, you got to apologize to him. I was like, dude, I'm not. Honestly, I'm leaving. He pushed me into the fridge, and it dented the fridge.
Wow.
And he's like, you're not getting your paycheck next week. I just took all the tips out, and I left.
Wow.
And then I didn't have any money. I didn't have a plan B. I thought I can get another job. And then, dude, I couldn't get. I was getting used. One guy had me. He's like, yeah, I'll train you. And it was the Lower East Side. I cleaned out his basement, painted it. It's like, how's this training me to be a bartender?
Oh,
and
yeah.
He goes, yeah, this ain't going to work out.
Wow.
I took a bottle of whiskey from him or something just to win something.
Yeah.
And I got another shitty job at Tonic. They kept saying, you'll get paid next week. Dude, the servers would talk about cheating and stealing. This is perfect, dude. These waiters and waitresses are supposed to tip their bussers. Like, you're running up the food.
I've gotten that.
They'll tell you, oh, no, I only made $60 tonight. You'd be like, bitch, I know you made way more.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, yeah, sorry, here's your 10%, $6. And you worked all day, and you walk out with $12.
Yeah.
And I kept the jobs because I got to eat there.
Yeah.
You know?
Did you ever get close, you think, to like doing some criminal shit more than just like... Because you feel like if you're at the lowest of lows, that's when, like, someone says, hey, take this box uptown.
I'll tell you the closest criminal stuff I ever came close to doing was probably selling cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
I got duped into that once. Somebody tried to get me to do that, but it was all fake, I guess. But
yeah.
I actually was trying to go through with it, and then my friend was like, "Dude, this is Nosatol. It's not. I don't do drugs." He's like, "This is. You could go buy this at the head shop for $20."
Oh, wow.
He's like, he ripped you off, and then the dude kept calling me.
Yeah.
There was like a dry spell for coke. And he's like, "Hey, you know where I can get any?" I ended up selling him back all that.
Wow.
Yeah, true story. It's fake stuff though. I didn't know. I'm not putting that shit in my mouth.
Right.
Nowadays, I would never do anything like that because it'll kill people. Like if you're watching this podcast, you might hate me, but that shit will kill you. Don't do that shit.
Yeah. Well, now it's all tainted.
It's all tainted.
Chinese, yeah.
And then one time I was hanging with this kid, kind of a bad apple, man. He used to hang with these guys, and they would be breaking in places and stealing car stereos and all this stuff. He used to heist jeans, like everything. Like remember they had the $200 like Abercrombie and Fitch jeans. Like those things were huge, dude. He'd go in and take 30 pairs of them, like every size, and then he'd just sell them to people. But one time he found this guitar at a guitar store. And it was worth like a ton of money. I don't know. It was worth like $30,000. So he had this idea where we were going to go there and literally throw a brick through the door at the guitar place.
Right.
It was a glass door. Go in, shatter the case, bolt cutters, cut that guitar out, and try to sell it. And, you know, dude, we were running drills to do it. I don't know what was the matter with me.
You had a plan.
I would have got what? What are you going to sell that for? People would know. Everybody would be looking for the item. I was stupid, too. 18 or something.
Wow.
And we were timing it out like a movie, cutting through the woods. We like had CB scanners and knew where the cops were. Wow. Yeah, dude.
Give yourself a nickname.
He stole the CB scanners. And they were like cop scanners. Like he stole a cop scanner out of a cop car.
Yeah.
But
see, I think this is something people talk about, like the way that like young kids get influenced by movies. And they always talk about like, you know, sex or violence. But I think there's a big part of movies where you grow up watching movies where it's like, now I'm going to make a plan.
Right.
Not just like you get influenced by just the idea that like I can pull off anything if I just make the perfect plan.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be like a mousetrap. First, I'm going to do this, then I'll do this, then I'll work down this list, and then step number 9 is get away. And it's like, no, people don't realize that this is how unreal, this is what movies do to you. It's like, no, that you're going to fuck up step 3, and then step 5 is going to be run and then get caught in the next town.
You ever talk to these street dudes? They are so confident in how they could get away with stuff.
Yeah.
And they'll act like they know the laws better than everybody. It's like, bro, it's not going to work out that way.
There's a reason why nobody has stolen that guitar yet.
Right.
If it was possible, somebody would have done that shit.
Yeah, dude.
But I think some people just tell themselves the same story enough time in their head that they believe that it's almost like it already happened to them.
There was this guy, man, because I'm into art, man. I'm really into art. And anyways, there was this guy that found a way to replicate a painting identical to the real artist's painting. You heard this story? Like he put in an oven, he mixed plastic with the oil to make it crack. And then he almost went to jail for stealing art. And then he had to paint the picture in front of people and show them how he did it. How crazy is that? But these paintings were worth like $2 million, and he was like mass producing them.
See, at least that guy though, it's like he found his own thing.
Right.
This isn't a smash and grab.
Yeah.
This isn't like, oh, I'm gonna be the Brinks truck guy. It's like, no, this guy, like at that point, you're smart enough to you could probably invent something legal.
The best was the people that were all stealing from Walmart self-checkout, putting a banana on a PS4.
Yeah. But I mean, that's like, you know, little stuff.
Yeah, but that's still pretty smart. I mean, people probably got away with that for a while.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I feel like, because when you're broke, that feeling of being like, when you're just kind of hopeless, and it's like, you feel like you'll do pretty much anything to make something happen.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, you're not in the right mentality of making a good plan. That's the problem. Is I think a lot of people who are in that situation where it's like you're literally hungry, so you can't even really think straight.
Yeah.
So you start making stupid plans.
And you need it now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to Walmart, grab it, and then say, "Hey, look over there," and run away.
Yeah, and you'll tell people, you'll be like, "Hey, man, here's a good way." They'll be like, "I ain't trying to hear that shit.
Yeah.
My baby needs diapers."
Exactly. Well, it's like you're in a panic.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, really, in an ideal world, it's like you would have like, no, I'm gonna start with a rough draft. I'm gonna make some charts. map this shit out and figure it out. But it's like, no, in real life, criminals are not actually smart because you're always in a tight spot.
Well, I don't know. I'd have to say I beg to differ on that because some criminals are really dumb like people and some are really brilliant. Like, bro, like, and a good one is everybody, y'all could do this. Insurance scams. That's the number one. You could easily pull one of those bad boys
People
off.
get caught, though.
But there's ways to do it. There's accidental. So, like, say you own a house and you could take a piece of the roof off and go on vacation, let it rain for 3 months and just be like, the tarp blew off. I didn't think it would damage the house. And then you could get money to fix that shit and they'll give you like $10,000.
Right.
And then, you get that money quick, like within a week.
Oh, yeah.
And then, you just do whatever you want with it. You could fix it a little. It's not much, a little bit of drywall or paint.
But I think that's the kind of scam, though, where it's like, think about when you were actually like starving and eating now and laters. That's not the kind of scam you would try to pull.
Yeah.
You would try to do something quick.
Like the money in the wish fountain.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, did you know how serious of a charge it is to steal money out of a wish fountain?
No.
Yeah, they consider that the same charge as robbing a bank.
Wow.
And I didn't want to give the money up. He's like, I know it's under your leg. Dude, I was like...
This is like $1.
Yeah. I was like, can I please keep the money?
Wow.
It was 75 cents. And he's like, put it back in there. And he's like, he's seen my license. He's like, you're from Ohio. What the hell are you doing in New York? And I was like, I'm trying to be a comedian.
Wow.
And he respected it.
Yeah.
Some people respect it when you're honest with them. But he's like, man, all yous guys need to go back to Ohio and Indiana and these places. It's like, no, we don't. We're the ones driving New York. Like, what do you think? It's New Yorkers that are coming here and working 90% of the time in these offices and all this shit.
Right.
And spending all this stupid money.
Well, it was probably someone from Ohio who put the money in the fountain. It was some tourist put it in there. It's not like this is some New Yorker who thinks like, today's the day I'm going to go to 30 Rock and put some money in a fountain. It's like, no, it's some fat tourist.
Yeah, dude, I almost had to go to court for it, actually. And I just went to the place. Like, I got some sort of a ticket out of it. And I went to the place on, like, I don't know, it was like near Times Square, like 47th and 7th or something. And I was like, oh, I'm about to go to jail for something huge, I was thinking. And that was it. I ended up telling the guy, I was like so much about lying. I was like, well, I was there and I was just begging. I was praying for something to help me. I was wishing for money and I threw a couple pennies in. That's all I had. And then a guy next to me, he wished to feed the hungry. And he threw this stuff in.
Wow.
And the person cracked up. I didn't have to pay the ticket or anything.
Wow.
Yeah, they made me go to some class for like stealing in New York. I had to watch a video about stealing.
Wow.
Or some bullshit.
It's so funny how little money is in this story.
Right, 75 cents.
This is money that you could find somewhere.
No, bro, it's hard to find money. You got to think you're not the only one looking. This is New York, bro.
I guess I've seen I've seen change on the ground before.
I did too. Now every time I see change on the ground, I used to always just think, oh, that's going to go to somebody that needs it. But now anytime I see change on the ground, I used to always pick it up. I mean, I would always, if I seen change, if it was a penny, I picked it up. Dude, nowadays, I never pick up change. I'm like, nah, somebody's walking around looking for that dime, and they're going to find it. I will not pick a dime up off the street or a penny or a quarter, anything.
Jeez.
And some people don't want money. Like, I always try to give now. Like, people get hard on me. They're like, oh, yeah, it's stupid. You're broke, but you just fed, like, because I'll go buy people meals for real.
Yeah.
Like, you've been with me. You see me do that shit. And people come down on me about it, dude. Well, you got budget and put your money away. I'm like, bro, you don't know how hungry that dude probably is for real. Like,
Yeah.
That's a real thing when you don't eat for 2 days. And,
Well, that guy is like, you're like the 100th person he's asked.
Right.
So, I mean, like, even if he's not starving, he is just on like a spiritual level. He's psyched for something to actually go his way.
And then at some point, you're like, I'm done asking. I got to save my energy.
Yeah.
I remember, dude, when I would wait, like, I remember I had $1 or something, and, dude, I got, like, a cup of coffee, and I remember just being like, man, this, and I smelled it. That's what made me really get religious, was being broke like that, because I used to always tell people, I don't know, I don't really, I'm not that religious. And a couple things happened. One time I was walking up steps on my way to work. And dude, I was like dizzy seeing spots, so hungry. And I had to go walk dogs all day. And I was like, please God, I just want $2 for a coffee. And they had this 99-cent sausage biscuit at Papaya on 72nd and Broadway. And as I finished the prayer, $2 dropped in my hand. Now, I don't know if somebody heard me and just dropped it, or if it was just, whatever, but my prayer got answered that second.
Wow.
And bro, it's like, what's the odds of $2 just dropping in your hand a second after you say it?
Should have prayed for more than $2. That was your problem.
Yeah.
This is a poor man's mentality.
Dude, I really believe in prayer. One time a girl was playing me, man, and I remember I prayed for her to lose her job, and she did that day.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? I don't know how it worked out like that. I was like, I hope she gets fired. She was messing around with a coworker, and she literally got fired that day. My friend told me, they're like, oh, bro, your homegirl just got fired.
Wow.
I was like, oh, man, I don't know if I should have prayed for that one.
Yeah, you could have prayed for something good.
Yeah, could have prayed for her to quit cheating on me.
Yeah.
But, people always skim off the top. I run a comedy show now downtown, and brother, dude's skimming. I know something's up because the owners something's always up with the money. They're taking $20 out of the take, like, because we have to pay $1 per person. Like, so if we sell tickets, you got 60 people, you got to pay $1 per person. And I see him, dude. He'll be blatant about it. He'll count out $20 for himself and put like 40 in the envelope.
Wow.
And and it's like these things. Should I go tell on this guy? I don't know what to do.
Well, just think about, like, it's so funny to me, of all these stories you tell me about how much stress people go through to make the smallest amount of money.
Right.
This is New York City. There is literally, you stand on the sidewalk, every 5 people that walk by, one of them is a millionaire.
Right.
And you're like trying to figure out how to steal a 10-cent now and later. You're getting caught stealing change out of a wishing well. It's like, this is like, you realize in a big city situation like this, it's like we're all jammed together, but everybody's in a different world.
Yeah.
Somebody at that exact same moment you were getting caught stealing 75 cents, somebody who walked by on the way to a helicopter or something.
That is crazy when you think about it. Yeah, bro. I couldn't afford an air mattress. Every week, it'd be fail after fail. I'd be like, man, I'm going to get it this week. And I was never able to get that air mattress.
Yeah.
I was sleeping on the floor for like 2 months.
Wow.
And then, all these jobs, they were screwing people. It was my karma. I worked at a detail shop, and I used to screw people. I would only do the easy cars. And I felt like that karma had to teach me a lesson. So in New York, I got screwed hard in the restaurant business.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's the problem when you're thinking about things in karma terms. Because there's a lot of people who are just getting screwed.
Yeah.
They didn't do shit.
It's the yin and the yang.
Well, a lot of people who literally just came to this country to work.
Yeah.
And they just get screwed left and right. So it's like, sometimes you really do have to blame the person who's screwing you.
There's these guys from Ireland that ran this bar downtown, and they had these cast iron tables. We'd have to carry them up 4 flights from the basement to the to the ceiling. And this was a busy, hot club.
Yeah.
Like the what do you call it? The New York Knicks, they would go there. Is that the team? I don't know. Yeah, they would go there, and it would be all these rich basketball players just throwing money.
Wow.
And it was a rooftop. You see the Empire State Building. And anyways, we'd have to carry these and I would be getting tipped $6 a day for this, keep in mind.
Wow.
And you'd have to carry these cast iron tables, dude. They were so heavy, my legs would be shaking. I'm a little guy, And these other guys were pretty big. And I would be like, I need somebody to help me carry the tables up. Dude, it's hard for... And the owner's like, I'll show you. You got to be... He's like, come on, you got to be a man. And he grabs the table. He's shaking it. Dude was like 50 years old. I'm like, dude, you're going to hurt your back. And he's doing it. And the next day he comes in, back all fucked up,
Wow.
I'm like, see, you hurt your back. Look how you're walking.
Yeah.
He's like, I was getting fucked in the ass all night. And it turns out the dude was gay. Like, he was really getting banged in the ass.
Man, see, you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, you think it's karma, but the dude's just having sex.
Yeah, I was like, you're right. I thought it was karma. I was like so happy he hurt his back. I was like, see, I told you.
See, it's funny, though, is that like when you're in a situation in life when you get screwed over, there's part of you that thinks like, well, depending on the type of person you are, there's thinking like, someday I'm going to be in the situation where I'm going to be the boss and I'm going to treat people nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the guy that actually like, I'm not going to be an asshole like this guy. But then there's some people who get in that situation where it's like, nah, someday I'm going to be the asshole.
Right.
I cannot wait to get my revenge on the general world.
Yeah. When you go into a job, there's these guys, because I was a manager for a while, and I was an asshole, and then I was cool. Like I had a shift. But there's certain types of people, employees that come in, and something about them makes you want to treat them bad. Or there's like something about them makes you want to treat them right. Like there was one dude that worked with us, and he was like, I'm not going. He was like, something was wrong with the dude, obviously. He's like, he kept saying, I'm not making this up, bro. He worked at Bob Evans, I guess, for like 20 years. He kept saying, I'm not going back to Bob Evans, man. And we just felt bad for him. He's like, they did me wrong, man. And we used to be thinking like a Bob Evans truck would pull up and steal him. Huh. He would always say, I treated this dude
like he escaped.
Yeah, and you know what it was, dude? It was, you could tell when somebody's off, and I just helped the guy out. I was like, all right, man. I was like, here's an easy car for you, and here, I'll help you. I'll do your windows. I felt bad for the guy.
Right.
And he worked there for about 4 months, and I'm telling you, man, I'm not going back to Bubba. And then he was leaving. Dude, he was like, all right, man, yo, it's been cool knowing y'all. I just, and dude, he's putting on an act. Wow. Dude, I wish I was lying about this, but that's my best advice to everybody. Go to a job, act a little off. They're going to treat you great.
Wow.
I promise you.
What did he get away with, though?
He never did shit. I let him go home early every day.
Oh.
He did every easy car. I was so nice to him.
I mean, I guess, but it's not like he robbed a bank.
No,
this
but
dude
he
did work
fun.
at a car wash. See, like I was saying, you got to think in terms of scale. This dude he didn't get away with that much.
Can you imagine if he worked at a bank? They would trust him. They'd be like, yeah, go in the room, Larry.
See, the thing is, that guy wouldn't work at a bank. That guy's level of scamming, his level of ambition was, I'm going to be the guy that works at a car wash for 3 months.
Yeah.
And I'm just not I'm going to be kind of lazy.
He told us he just wanted to be there long enough to get unemployment.
Oh, yeah.
We had one guy tried getting hurt, speaking of scamming, dude. It's crazy what some people will do. He was like, hey, and this is a huge garage door. He's like, hey, I'm going to be over here fiddling with this thing here, and can you just drop the door down on my back? And, dude, he was so serious. I'm like, nah, man. He's like, there's no cameras. Like, come on, I need some insurance money. So what he ended up doing was he seen a car was out of gas. Nobody asked for his help. He just came running over and started pushing it and fell in the snow and played this back injury. He didn't get nothing, though. They're like, yeah, nobody asked you to do that.
Wow.
It's not your job. You shouldn't have came over there and tried to push a car. We didn't want it pushed. So he got nothing. And he milked this out. He didn't work for like 6 months, pretended his back was hurting. I see him at like Buffalo Wild Wings. He'd be sneaking out like he didn't see me.
Wow.
We didn't what's funny? None of us lied for him. And he started driving past my house like he was going to do something.
Huh. See, the thing is, though, it's like you got to think in terms of like I was saying, scale. You think about when you were going to do some like criminal shit. Imagine you were in a situation where it's like, all right, I could pull this one heist and I could get $100,000, or I could pull like a slightly less heist and I could get, $20,000, $10,000. But it's like with less money, with more money comes more risk.
Yeah.
What do you think you would have gone for in that situation when you were really at your most desperate? When it's like, were you going to go high risk, high reward, or were you really just going to go?
No, I wouldn't have went high risk.
Because these people who are trying to pull an insurance scam, in their mind, they're thinking, you're going to get $7,000?
Yeah.
But there's some guys who are in that same situation, just as poor, who are thinking like, I'm going to pull the biggest heist of all time.
Yeah, you know what's funny when people think like in terms of insurance scam, some people don't even look at that as a real scam, and they're so surprised when they gotta go to jail.
Right.
Like a guy, I knew this guy got arrested for it too. He stole his own car. He didn't want to make the payments anymore.
Oh, wow.
And he stole his own car, and I don't know. Somehow they busted him. I have no clue how. And he ended up going to prison for it. Like, you can't do that.
Right.
But he was just thinking like, in his mind, he was just thinking, it was like the third time he did it. So they ended up catching on to him, I guess,
Right.
And I think he stole it and blew it up like a town over, like in the woods. And it's like they found it the next day.
Wow.
It was one of those things. And I don't know if maybe a camera or something, but he would be telling us like, no, it's not a real crime. We'd be like, dude, yeah, it's grand theft auto. Like,
it's a crime, but it's almost like a victimless crime.
But then you're blowing something up. It's arson, dude. He did like 5 years in prison, bro.
Yeah. I mean, he went pretty big with it.
Yeah.
You could have done something in a more discreet
He was so shocked. You believe that, man? Put me away for that. It's like, you blew up a car in a residential neighborhood.
Wow.
With families. Like, you C4.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you got to give it to the guy. At least he went for it, right?
Bro, you know what's crazy, dude? Now, I just seen this. Dude, they have the printers that can make ghost guns.
Yeah.
And there's no tracer, nothing.
Right.
Nobody could find nothing. Easy. Boom.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Well, you could already just buy a gun on the street.
Yeah.
There's no shortage of guns.
But the danger going with buying a gun on the street is if you get caught with that gun, you don't know what it did.
Yeah.
So, if you buy a gun on the street, sometimes they're not going to care if you're like...
I mean, like buying a gun, I mean, like it's pretty easy to buy a gun legitimately though, right?
Yeah, but it has a fingerprint. So if you buy a gun legitimately and you shoot somebody, the police are coming right to your house.
No, but still, I mean, you figure out it. I think people get away with these things, right?
People take like... I don't know if we should be telling the world this, but people take they'll take a piece of metal and try to scratch up the barrel.
Right.
But ultimately every gun has a fingerprint. So
right.
If you shoot somebody, they're gonna know it's your gun. They're gonna find you.
Yeah, you throw it in the river, right?
Well, yeah, but it's registered to you if you bought it legally.
Oh, right, yeah.
But the serial number and everything, there's a way to trace that, but not with these ghost guns. Like you buy a gun off the street. Like say I just went out here and bought a gun off some dude. And I get I get caught with it somehow because you're gonna be somewhere with the pistol.
Yeah.
And then they run that gun. Oh, you're going to court for 3 murders.
I feel like there are a lot of people who are getting away with shooting people, though.
Oh yeah, I mean they are. we definitely know.
Yeah. I feel like the cops aren't on top on top of it as we're giving them credit.
Well, they have to find the gun. If it's an
Yeah.
illegal gun, they'd have to find you and the gun at the same place.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to get caught with the gun. But with these ghost guns, there's no fingerprint, so you could just constantly shoot people.
Yeah.
And nobody's ever going to be able to prove you did it.
Right.
That's the problem with the ghost gun.
Huh.
You can be like, "What are you talking? I didn't shoot that guy with this gun.
Right.
Prove it." But you'll get in trouble just for having a ghost gun. You can't have But that's that situation. You shoot somebody, throw it in the river.
Right.
No registered, no nothing.
Hmm.
And you could just print them out, buy the parts online. Real secretive.
Right.
Where they get people now is the Google searches. I'm going to be Googling best scams and watch FBI come knock on our door.
Right.
Honestly, I think the best scam I've ever heard of was that Walmart dude. Walked in, $75K. They said he's been hitting Walmarts. What do you think would be the perfect scam? Like, how would you, if you had to come up with a scam to make $100,000? Maybe you know what good one is? People do is the credit card scams with fake address. You could buy stuff on a credit card. I know I did a moving job for a guy, and he had all these fake credit cards. Scammers love to tell you what they do. He confessed it. He's like, yeah, I'm paying you with a fake credit card. He's like, I'll buy you food. I'll buy you 2 coffees.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the shit bounced, though.
Yeah.
He was able to get me coffees and shit, but it didn't work for TaskRabbit. But TaskRabbit refunded me the money in like a month. But, yeah, the dude told me he went into a dealership and bought an Escalade and drove it for like, you could drive it for a few weeks until you need plates.
See, I think there's like, in my mind, there's really are basically just 2 kinds of crime. There's, there's crime where you're stealing. There's victim crime, and then there's victimless crime. In that situation, it's like you'd be worried you were going to get caught if you have like fake credit cards. But I don't think that guy, you don't actually like feel bad for doing it, right?
I wouldn't.
Yeah. Because it's like whoever you're stealing it from, they're going to get the money back.
Yeah, I mean...
It comes out of the system, so the system gets a little bit screwy, but...
I wonder how they do it, though. I didn't realize that they're stealing that from something. I thought he was just making credit cards. He had fake IDs. He had this machine to make the shit.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it just basically just takes somebody's credit card number. Then you steal it, you get it online, you just get the number. But then that person, once they realize it's shit stolen, it's like, you just call them up. and you're back in the game.
I almost got hit with a scam, bro. They almost got me. You know where people could Google you. Like, say I just Googled your phone number, your name's going to come up.
Yeah.
So anybody could just Google a random number and somebody's name's popping up to that number.
Right.
Then you get a text now number that's untraceable, or you get some burner phone, and then you text that number, hey, if you don't send me $2,500, I'm killing. Because not only you'll pop up, your family will pop up, your aunts, everybody, people that know Dan, and then that's the new scam going on. They'll be like, hey, Venmo me this money or I'm going to kill them. Trust me, I'm not one to play games and this and that. And the cop says you just got to block them immediately. It's a common scam. I mean, they're not going to chase you down. They're just going to, they're going to try to scam 500 more people that day.
Yeah, that's the other thing with these kinds of criminals, like crimes, is that guy who's walking into Walmart, he's trying to do one job and make one big score. Whereas, like, for these, like, phone scammers, it's you're casting a wide net.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm going to try to scam 10,000 people, and I only got to hit one guy.
Yeah.
But you got to think in terms of, like, how much more work that is.
Oh, yeah. It's so much, but way less risk. They ain't catching. There's no way they're ever going to catch these guys.
Yeah.
There's no way possible you could catch them. I got a death threat, putting out social media videos about being on food stamps. Somebody said I was acting black, and they were like, yeah, when I see you, I'm going to shoot you in your head on West 4th Street. And I lived on West 4th.
Right.
And I went to the cops. He's like, bro, it's impossible for us to trace somebody. He said, now, if at some point you did get shot, we can try to see if we can ping a cell phone number, but we can't do it for threats. And he told me, he goes, you know how many comedians at the Comedy Cellar get their life threatened? That's what he said.
Man, just imagine if you were the mayor.
Yo.
You wouldn't say that, right?
Right.
Pretend I'm the president.
Yeah, can't you pretend I'm as important as another human?
Yeah.
Yeah, if somebody were to threaten, like, Trump, I wonder what would happen.
Yeah.
I'm sure people do threaten the mayor all the time. He probably laughs about it.
I don't know.
It's probably like, bro, there's people standing in line.
Yeah.
These cops my grandfather was a cop, dude. He used to get threats.
Yeah.
And he didn't give a fuck. He'd be like, please come. I've been waiting to do something fucked up.
Right. Yeah.
Some people, cops are a different type of breed. They go into that wanting that.
Yeah.
I got approached to be a cop in the subway. They're like, hey, you want to be a cop? I was just thinking, like,
dude,
got
that vibe.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Look how little I am.
No,
the dude was smaller than me.
Those are the cops right there.
Yeah.
Short dudes are the cops.
They are.
Where it's like, that's how they scope you out. It's like, you get a little revenge on the world.
Come to think of it, every short cop I've ever had has been a dick.
Oh, yeah.
They'll flip out on you.
Yeah.
I got a fortune cookie. Do you read horoscopes?
Nah.
You're more of a fortune cookie type of guy?
Most Chinese restaurants don't even give you fortune cookies anymore.
I know. I had to ask for this one.
Yeah, I think they have them behind the counter.
Yeah, they're all stale. You can't eat them no more. I read horoscopes, and, dude, I really believe in them, man.
What do you got?
Let's see. Any decision you have to make tomorrow is a good decision.
Wow.
Let's go scam somebody.
Yeah. You got some lottery numbers?
How about another fortune? I don't like how you could just pick a second fortune now.
What's it say?
It just gives you a website you can get a free fortune from.
Yeah,
lottery numbers are looking good. Should I play them? I feel like that's a hitting number. 27, 29, 28, 46, 17, and 9. Huh. Well, I don't know. What decision do you think I have to make tomorrow?
Yeah, wait till I know what's going to happen to you.
Any decision I have to make tomorrow is a good decision. What is tomorrow? Thursday?
Yeah.
I'm leaving for a cruise. I picked up a cruise.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going for 2 days.
See, that's the thing is, like, whenever I hear you complaining about, like, all the travel and the cruise and everything, it's like, you got to just, luckily we're recording this, you got to go back and listen to yourself talk about getting a 15-cent now and later. Anytime you're talking about, like, I got to go make thousands of dollars on this cruise.
Yeah.
Like, no, let's have the old Dom talk to the new Dom.
Bro.
Remember, just imagine if you had to confront yourself from 6 years ago and tell yourself what you're going through.
Wow, can you imagine that? Really, I felt like the world just stood still just now because I wanted these cruises so bad.
That poor guy who's just looking at meat on the Upper East Side, and you're just like, someday I'm going to be complaining that I'm too fat.
Dude,
someday I'm going to be on a cruise ship. I'm going to be complaining that I'm getting too much free food and it's making me sleepy.
I remember I got the jerky from that place once, and dude, I waited so long for it. He handed it to me, dude. I was like, dude, I was like snorling like a damn pig right in front of the guy.
Wow.
He couldn't believe it.
Was it worth it?
No, it tasted terrible.
Yeah. In your head though, see, in your head, it always you can't ever actually follow your goals in that kind of situation because it's never gonna live up to it.
I used to get so mad when, because I always would get a little bit of money somehow because I'm naturally a hustler one way or another. Like, I would walk in a place and when I really needed it and be like, yo, can I just work for a day, man, for $50? Like, I'll do with it. Can I take out the trash? And these restaurants would be like, yeah. People were cool with it.
Yeah.
And then, you could always kind of get some sort of work. And, dude, this is before the pandemic. I did comedy on the street, and I made money doing that.
Wow. You
Like,
used to have a guitar and shit, right?
Yeah, remember we did the tambourine we tried once?
Yeah.
But, dude, the best way I did it was I would go get a cup out of the trash, and that would be my thing. And I would just set it down, and I would just start doing jokes, my best jokes. And, dude, this is years before the pandemic. When was that?
Yeah, it was probably like 2018.
And dude, I would make like $20 a day, $30 a day.
Wow.
Doing
Buy a little
that.
jerky.
Yeah, dude. I remember. Well, honestly, I think my best day was $30.
Yeah.
But I made like I remember the first time I did it, I made $11, and I bought so much stuff with that $11 at the grocery store.
Wow.
If you went to that would be a fun game, honestly. This would be a good reality show. Budgeting broke, let's name it. And you got to go to a grocery store and try to get your week's food for $10. I mean, it would be easy, rice and beans, bro.
Same time.
But, I had the rice, I had the beans, I had a loaf of bread. I had a pack of bologna. I had ramen noodles. This is how much. See, people waste so much time when they're broke. I went to 2 different stores because I'm like, what? Ramen noodles are $1.25 for 5 of them? That's a ripoff.
Yeah.
So I went to a whole nother store because they were 15 cents loose.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm making out. I made another 50 cents. I was able to buy another 3 of them.
Wow.
And then you get they have the cheap, like, big bag of candy for 99 cents because I've always had a sweet tooth. I got my coffee, dude, for like $1.99 where you just instant coffee.
Yeah.
Dude, $11. I had so much food, rice. I'm eating good, man. I bought the cheap eggs. Dude, that's crazy too. Maybe eggs still are, dude. It was like $1.89 for 12 of them in the Bronx.
Right.
And I was just like, man, I made it. Had the American cheese too, the 99-cent shit that don't melt in the pan. You know that cheese?
Yeah.
You can't make grilled cheeses, but I was living it up, man.
And just look at you now.
Yep. Now I made it.
Yeah, right. Eating fortune cookies.
If only I knew. All I had to do was not pay my taxes.
Right. Just imagine right now you're talking to young Dom right now. If 2023 Dom is talking to 2017 Dom, what do you gotta tell him?
I'd say enjoy that thick hair you got. Okay, don't complain about it. Show it off. Don't drink any alcohol. Stop messing with that shit.
Yeah,
that's a waste of time. Budget.
But yeah, things are gonna get better for you.
Things are gonna get better for you.
You're gonna have new things to complain about.
Yeah, eating too much on a cruise ship. Spending too much money.
You're gonna gain some weight.
Yeah, I just went out to eat yesterday, and I couldn't even dream of going out to eat before.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess, that's what I tell myself. Would you give yourself any future advice?
I am still doing just as bad as I was doing in 2016. Things have not moved forward very much, I'll be honest with you.
You read more books.
I got a new phone.
Yeah.
That iPhone 8, that's going to go.
Oh,
you're going to get the 12, and it's going to be pretty nice, and then you're going to drop it, and it's going to be cracked, but it's still pretty nice.
I remember the way you held on to that phone of yours, dude.
I was the last one with the little phone.
By far.
Yeah.
Last one for years. I was like, dude, where'd you find that?
It looks like a toy.
Yeah, you're like, I had it.
Better battery. Yeah, I always tell people that I held on to it because it had better battery life. It didn't really have good battery life. But it was like, yeah.
Yeah, dude, that is wild. I forgot you had that phone. You've always been real smart with your money, though, and stuff. You're an intelligent guy, man. That's where my learning disability comes into play. I think I don't want to use it as excuses. I don't think of consequences. I just go, okay, well, now I think I'm going to be hungry and we'll figure it out. I'm one of those guys.
I think so many people, especially like if you've just been used to being poor for so long, especially when I see people like complaining about how much like groceries cost and they show like what they're buying. And it's like, man, and they have like a grocery bag and it's like Cheerios, Cheetos, some other like, Hot Pockets or something. And it's like, they never have just like beans and rice.
Yeah.
And then, something basic and like jalapeno,
It's
like, unless you're actually in the mentality, if you're in that mentality of like, no, this is what food is Cheerios and all this like instant food. Yeah. Whereas if you're really like in survival mode, and it's like, no, you just get the rice.
Right.
And you get a little bit of butter if you really need to for flavor or something. But
adobo.
You live. Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, dude, how much you could... do you know how much rice you could buy with $5 in the Bronx?
Oh, yeah.
Like, dude, a trash bag size.
Yeah.
And then that's dry.
Yeah.
Like, you're like 4 weeks you're eating off that.
Yeah.
And cans of beans are like, dude, you can get them 29 cents places.
Yeah. You steal some tomatoes.
Oh, then you're living the good life there.
Yeah.
We used to go garden raiding, man. You ever do that? I wish I had a garden still.
No.
But, you just cut through somebody's backyard. They got some plump-ass tomatoes, green peppers.
See, we talk about a victim crime. That's cold-blooded right there. Some old Italian man just spent 6 months trying to grow the perfect tomato.
Yeah. Some
fucking kid from Ohio breaks in. Steals his tomato.
You got the salt and pepper shakers. That's all you need.
Yeah, you're like it's like a rabbit.
I still love tomatoes for that reason. Some juicy tomatoes.